All right, today we're going to dive into a really fascinating case study that could completely change how we think about workplace well-being. And no, we're not talking about another corporate memo or a top-down policy. This is about a truly innovative model built by employees for employees. Let's get into what makes this blueprint so special.
Think about it for a second. The biggest problems in the modern workplace are often invisible, right? We're talking about stress, emotional burnout, that feeling of being disconnected. You can't just issue a directive to fix that. It needs a totally different way of thinking. So where do you even start?
Well, the answer might just be in this new, really human-centered approach they're calling the AKRB Blueprint. It's designed to go right at that invisible crisis, not by managing people, but by empowering them.
So what is it exactly? At its heart, the AKRAB Blueprint is a peer-to-peer psychological support program. And here's the crucial part. It is designed and facilitated by employees for their own colleagues. The name AKRAB actually translates to Public Servant Peer Guides, and that's a secret sauce right there. The innovation isn't coming from HR, it's coming from your peers.
Because this whole model is based on one simple truth. The best support you can get often comes from the person who's in the trenches right there with you. It creates this safe, informal space where people can actually open up and support each other, building real trust from the ground up.
Okay, so that's the big idea, but how does it actually work in practice? Well, the blueprint is structured around three really distinct but totally complementary pillars that they rolled out as a series of workshops.
The whole journey kicks off with Pillar 1, Mastering Work Adjustment. From there, it moves into some deeper territory with Pillar 2, Navigating Difficult Emotions. And then it all comes together in Pillar 3, Building Team Harmony. You can see how each step logically builds on the one before it.
So the first pillar is really about building a solid foundation. It's about giving employees practical, real-world skills to deal with all the pressures of a workplace that's always changing. New bosses, shifting roles, all that daily stuff.
And the core tool they taught here is something called the #3A approach. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. First, there's awareness, just recognizing what's actually going on. Then comes acceptance, acknowledging reality for what it is without judging it. And finally, action, figuring out what constructive steps you can take to move forward. So practical and so effective.
Okay, once that foundation is set, the program moves into something a little more sensitive. Pillar 2 is all about creating a truly safe space for people to deal with feelings we usually just bottle up at work, things like disappointment or sadness.
And the way they did this was just brilliant. They used an activity called Emoji Emoji. Everyone just picks an emoji that captures how they're feeling, and then they share why in small groups. It sounds so simple, but that visual prompt was like a key that unlocked conversations about complex feelings that are normally so hard to talk about. And this quote right here just says it all. It shows how much psychological safety they actually created. People felt comfortable enough to show real vulnerability. We're talking sadness, even tears. This was way more than just a workshop. It was a space for real human connection. So, the final pillar takes all that individual resilience and emotional openness and uses it to build something bigger, stronger team bonds. The focus shifts here from me to we.